Hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. It is Monday, March 3rd, 2025, and we do have an active weather pattern going on across the country. We have a cold air outbreak that came during the day Sunday, and that is pulling off of the East Coast. But you can see it, actually. You can see it in the cold clouds that are forming, these stratocumulus clouds that are forming off the East Coast. High pressure is in control right now. But this batch of clouds that's forming is going to become a very strong low pressure system that's going to deliver quite a variety of weather over the next few days. And that includes potential severe thunderstorms and tornadoes from Oklahoma, east and southeast. And I'll show you that in the model forecasts here and in GeoCollaborate in just a moment. But I want to take this full screen and show you what it looks like from the standpoint of the satellite picture. We're doing the update a little bit earlier today, so you can just see the sunset line approaching Maine. This is the terminator line where it's going to start to get colder, but the days are getting longer. We keep adding about a minute and a half to our daylight in the mid-Atlantic area here each day. And then tomorrow or over the weekend, next weekend, Sunday, don't forget, if you do this in your local areas, turn your clocks forward 1 hour. We'll remind you of that a little bit later as well. But here's what's going on with this satellite imagery. You have moisture coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. I can zoom in here a little bit too so we can see what's going on here. Look at this low pressure system. It's rotating here, coming out of Colorado right here. There are high wind warnings, wind advisories, and even blizzard warnings posted in Nebraska. I'll show you that on GeoCollaborate as well in just a minute. But look at this southerly jet that's just feeding into this low pressure system that's going to help it to really spin up and become quite a formidable storm over the next day here, over the next 24 hours. This line back here, you're going to see this develop into severe thunderstorms by 10, 11 o'clock tonight in central Oklahoma. And that's where the concern is for potentially some tornadoes there. And when you ever have that potential at night, you want to make sure when you go to bed. This includes the All Hazards Consortium stakeholders across the country. If severe weather is expected when you go to bed, do not silence your phones and make sure the wireless emergency alerts are turned on. So if anything is approaching your area, your phone will set off an alarm and you can stay safe. But you can see behind this, look at this upper level low pressure system rotating here over the mountains. This is Utah here. And we have another storm system that looks pretty impressive off the west coast. But fortunately, it's not really going to develop into an atmospheric river here, which is great news. The next 7 days look pretty clear. But look at this. We've had red flag warnings and we've had high wind advisories and high wind warnings on Sunday throughout Maryland and New Jersey and Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. And we can even see some wildfires that have formed. Let's look at this one here in Virginia. This one here is just southwest of or south of Richmond. I'm going to switch sectors here and go a little bit tighter. This is pretty cool. We have satellites up there. We talk about that all the time. This one is the brand new GOES 19 satellite that is undergoing checks and validations and verification of its satellite channels and sensors that are on board. But look what it's picking up. This is a mesoscale sector here. So you can see a high, thin cloud here moving this way. But this right here, I'll tell you what, let me highlight this and I'll circle it for you right here. This is a fire that has developed just south of Richmond. And we can even go over to GeoCollaborate. Let me go over to GeoCollaborate here and show you what it looks like. I'll take it full screen and show you where that fire is. So here is Virginia, and here is that fire that's showing up from satellite. I'll zoom in real close to it here. This is called Dinwiddie County, right on the border of Nottoway County in Virginia. And I just want to show you how these polar satellites work here. Polar orbiting satellites orbit the Earth from pole to pole, and as the Earth rotates, the satellites cover different parts of the Earth. And so look at this. This is identifying 4 hotspots. The satellite, the VIIRS sensor on the NOAA 20 satellite is identifying these hotspots, and we can click on them and see what they say. It gives a latitude, a longitude. Look at this confidence level that it's a wildfire, 79%, because we have a fire radiative power of 20.53 megawatts. 20.53 megawatts. It has a brightness temperature, 318.88 degrees Kelvin. That's a different temperature scale than Fahrenheit or Celsius. Kelvin is actually an absolute zero temperature scale. So if you have 0 degrees Kelvin, that is incredibly cold. We never reach that here on the Earth. But look, I'll click on another one of these dots here. There is a 58% chance this is a wildfire. And this hotspot here, 50% chance of a wildfire. And this one down here is a 85% chance of a wildfire. So if we were just looking at this data right here in GeoCollaborate, which is on the border of Dinwiddie and Nottoway County in Virginia, this is south of Richmond, I would be pretty confident that there's some sort of wildfire burning here. And now look what happens when we go over to the satellite imagery. Okay, we'll go over to the full screen satellite imagery and show you what that looks like here. There it is. There's the smoke that's coming from this wildfire. Let's get a little bit closer in on this so we can show you what it looks like. This is where the fire is, and you can see the smoke. The winds aren't too strong. Here comes a high-level cirrus cloud, and you can see the shadow of the cirrus cloud on the ground there. Watch this. Look at that. That's not rain or anything. It's just a fair weather cloud. Could be an old contrail from an airplane, which is just condensation from the warm jet engine and moisture. But look at that. It's headed over this way. This is moving very slowly because it's smoke. And here is Richmond. This is Richmond right here. This is the city of Richmond. And here is that smoke. So it could be, it's possible, it could be obstructing some visibility on some of the roads in that area. Okay, so I'm going to widen out now because I want to go to the Goes West satellite here and show you what's going on from the standpoint of the clouds and storms over the Pacific Ocean. Remember, these satellites, they are our eyes in the skies for meteorologists. We do not want anything to happen to these satellites because, folks, it'll be very tough to warn you of things coming in off of the ocean if we don't have satellites. Look, here's Hawaii. Right here, beautiful weather in Hawaii. You know anybody out there? They're sending you back beautiful pictures right now. And here's the stream of moisture. This is an atmospheric river, but what's going to happen with this low pressure system is it gets swirling there in the Gulf of Alaska. It is going to die out. This area of moisture is just going to impact a little bit of the West Coast, and it's not even going to be a long-lasting atmospheric river. Let me show you something else really cool here for a second. I'm going to move down here. Look at this. What is that? Look at that shiny thing moving across the ocean. Well, guess what that is? You're right. It's the reflection of the sun as the Earth orbits the sun. So like you can shine a light, or the sun might shine off of a puddle and blind you for a minute. It gets so bright because it's shining off, reflecting off that puddle. Well, I mean, the Pacific Ocean is a big puddle, right? Let me zoom out just a little bit more so you can see this happening, so we can see the full disk, the full sphere here, the Goes West view. And look at that. This is the sun moving across the Pacific Ocean. Now, as we get closer to summer, when the sun gets further to the north, we'll see the sun's position shifting further to the north. It's really spectacular to be watching this imagery, and we can go in and look at it, and we can look at imagery all around the country. This is the west coast of South America here. This is the Galapagos Islands right here. I changed the borders to black, but about 600 miles off the Ecuador coast. The equator is right here, goes right through the Galapagos Islands. Boy, if you ever get a chance to go down there and explore those islands, it is spectacular. Just really phenomenal. The diversity of wildlife and marine life is incredible. Okay, so let me back out here a little bit and show you what else is going on as far as the wildfires are concerned. I showed you GeoCollaborate, and I did show you the wildfire burning in Virginia, but let me show you what it looks like a little bit wider. Here's the state of North Carolina. There are numerous fires burning right now. A lot of them are under control, and these are satellite returns of hotspots in North Carolina in GeoCollaborate. But I can switch over to the satellite picture and also take you down to Georgia. Look at Georgia here. There are quite a few wildfires being detected by satellite here as well. And I can show you in the satellite loop, this is another high resolution mesoscale sector from the new GOES 19 satellite. Look at these fires. Okay, here is Atlanta. This is Atlanta, and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 major wildfires happening, and there's even one down here just to the south a little bit. You can just see that. Here, I'll circle them again for you. Here is one wildfire. Here's the second one here. Here's the third one. And here's the fourth one. And you can see that smoke that is really getting picked up. So this could limit visibility once again for cars driving down the roads. So I'll clear that out of the way. And this is the benefit that we have of these various sectors we can pull up from NOAA satellites. This is the GOES 19 satellite, the brand new one that is still undergoing tests. It takes about a year to go through these test periods as well. Okay, so back to the GOES West satellite, because I do want to show you where the atmospheric river is that's out in the Pacific that is not going to reach the U.S. How do we know this is not going to reach? Well, because we look at forecast models. Okay, and here it is. So remember what I've done in the past. I can move these dots all up and down the coast, but look, they're all white. No color to them, meaning no atmospheric river. There's a little bit of blue here, possibly up around Mount Olympus and the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State, maybe southern parts of Vancouver Island, maybe seeing one and over the next several days. But look at this. This is in Central California. I'll change the dot to move a little bit further north. You can see all of the forecasts here. Remember, the line in the middle is right now. That's today. This is the next 7 days to the right and the previous 7 days to the left. So you can see we're leaving one atmospheric river here now. 6 days ago was the last time we had an atmospheric river. But look, as we go up towards Astoria in Oregon, there's one that could pop up here. And this is, let's see, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So during the day Saturday, and that's still far out, there could be an AR1. That's usually just a nuisance atmospheric river. It's something that the reservoir operators can plan to capture some of this. But if there are burn scars in the area, it could cause some minor problems. Further to the north here, just by one click along the Olympic Peninsula, again, maybe a AR1 impacting that area of the country in 6 days. So maybe by Saturday into Sunday. So this is the benefit of modeling as well. So we need important input to these models. Observations from the ocean, observations from balloons that get launched, and observations from aircraft that fly out, just like the hurricane hunters fly out and take measurements so we can better understand atmospheric rivers heading to the West Coast. One of those flights last week had to be canceled because of a lack of resources. If we continue to not be able to fly into atmospheric rivers and also in hurricanes with the upcoming hurricane season, our forecast accuracy is going to go down. There is no doubt about that because if you don't put enough data into the models, you're not going to get good results out. So speaking of models, let's go over to the model for the U.S. so we can talk a little bit about this severe weather potential that we have here going for us right now. So here is the GFS model. This model has been initialized this morning, and I'm going to take it out and show you this low pressure system right here. You can see that. It is going to get stronger. There's a lot of winds happening right now. As a matter of fact, we have high wind advisories along the front foothills of the Rockies in Colorado. It's very windy there right now, and also very strong southerly winds in Nebraska and Oklahoma. But let me take this out into the future here. You can see this is this time is 6Z Tuesday, so that's about 1 o'clock in the morning, around midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight in the Midwest. And you can see some showers and storms starting to form. That's where we're going to get concerned. And you can see they really blow up pretty quickly during the day tomorrow. And you can see all of this area right here, all of this yellow and some perhaps orange, severe thunderstorms, and potentially some tornadoes, possibly right there forming. And that's Arkansas, northwest Louisiana, northeastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma. That's what we have to keep watching because this is overnight. This is into tomorrow afternoon, 18Z, but watch this. Overnight, this is 12Z, so it's about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. We have thunderstorms that are forming, and I'm going to show you a higher resolution model. It's called the HER model in the Midwest here. Let's go over to that, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, here is the HER model. I'm going to back it up here, and I'm going to take this. This is update every hour. So look at this. This time right here is about 10 or 9 o'clock tonight, and I'll take one step forward, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So look at this. We have thunderstorms that are starting to form in Oklahoma tonight around 10 or 11. Then this line really gets strong and extends out and moves pretty quickly, but it also extends south into Texas. So this is what I'm talking about when I say have the ability to get warnings off your phone or any other device. If you have a NOAA weather radio, that radio will get set off if the forecast office meteorologists in Norman, Oklahoma and in northern Texas, if they think that there's severe weather out there, they're going to set that alarm off through the wireless emergency network. And so you can see these storms. We're now talking about 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And look at this line coming right through Oklahoma City. This is why we have numerical prediction models, and we need to have accurate input to these models here. But look at this. We have strong thunderstorms headed all the way down from north central Texas up through central Oklahoma, right through Oklahoma City, Norman, Oklahoma. That's where the National Weather Center is, the Storm Prediction Center, the Norman Forecast Office, and up north into Kansas as well. So watch as this line progresses. Now we're talking about 7 o'clock in the morning in Texas and Oklahoma, and we have a pretty strong line of thunderstorms that'll be moving through. So we're talking about localized flash flooding. That's going to impact the transportation critical infrastructure. Also, we could have strong winds in these thunderstorms and isolated tornadoes, which could cause a lot of damage in this area. So this is what we're looking for today into tonight. If I widen out and show you the model forecast beyond tonight, the resolution goes down a little bit. I've widened out into a little wider map of the United States. and watch what happens here. So now we're into Tuesday night. So we're talking Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Western Tennessee, and even parts of maybe extreme Western Kentucky and southeastern Missouri. These storms really picking up in intensity. But that's not the only threat that we're talking about right now. These are thunderstorms here in the South. Pay close attention to your favorite broadcast meteorologist in the Southeast to keep you updated on what's going on locally in your market, and also the National Weather Service. They're the only ones that can issue tornado warnings. No other media organization can issue a tornado warning. They take that data officially from the National Weather Service, which is why we need forecasters in those Weather Service forecast offices. But look on the backside of here. This is snow. This is heavy snow, blizzard conditions in parts of Nebraska, northeast Kansas. We're talking winds of 35 to 50 miles per hour and snow falling, reducing visibility below a half a mile. And so we're talking blizzard conditions that could be felt here. And as this low moves up west of Chicago, you're going to be in the warm sector, so rain there, but the winds are going to pick up strong. And this is moderate to heavy snow throughout Iowa, southeast Minnesota, all the way into Wisconsin and on up into the UP of Michigan. Expect quite a bit of snow, particularly with lake effect enhancement in the UP of Michigan as this low pulls off. But I want to back up here because we're talking Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. We have a severe weather potential, scattered chance. It's more like a slight chance from the Storm Prediction Center perspective of severe thunderstorms in the Maryland, D.C., southern Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina area as this line pushes through. See, I'll show you again. This is Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, you can see that line of showers and thunderstorms. And then we're now into Wednesday afternoon. So that's what we're talking about, potential showers and storms coming through the mid-Atlantic. So you want to keep your eyes on the skies and also on your phones and your apps that will pass along warnings to your mobile device. So once that passes through, we have windy conditions. And look at this. Snow once again in western Maryland, in the higher elevations of West Virginia, Ohio, lake effect snow kicking in because most of the lakes are not frozen like Erie is, but that's even starting to break up now as this low pushes out. So then we have another system that's not going to be as strong in the Midwest, which we'll be keeping an eye on. But we're really focused on the chance of severe weather over the next 2.5 days, I'd say, starting tonight in Oklahoma and then ending Wednesday evening on the East Coast. That's when we'll see that severe weather chance ending. And so that's all the update that I have for you today for the All Hazards Consortium. That's what this update was produced for. We share information across sectors and organizations from the private sector, like the communications, transportation, medical supply, logistics, energy sectors, all those folks that get in their bucket trucks and go down the highway, sometimes thousands of miles to help restore power in your community sometimes. That's called mutual assistance. And that's what happens when we have big power outages and big impacts there. So I'm going to switch it back over here to the satellite picture as we look at the mid-Atlantic. We do have some clouds moving our way, but I'll shift this over into the Midwest because this is the line that we're keeping our eye on. Looks like it's going to produce some severe weather starting about 9 to 10 o'clock local time in Oklahoma tonight. Pay attention to the National Weather Service office there because they do very frequently issue warnings that save lives. That's it. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Thanks for watching. Although I do have GeoCollaborate that I want to show you. I didn't show you all the watches, warnings, and advisories. These bright pink ones are red flag warnings. It's going to be windy and dry and very strong winds there. So any fires that form could spread very rapidly. Winter weather advisories in Colorado on the backside of this low pressure system that's developing. But look at this. I'm going to zoom in here. This is a blizzard warning in eastern Colorado on up into north central Nebraska. A blizzard warning for limited visibility, heavy snow, and strong winds. This area are high wind warnings in here in these colors, and even up into Iowa. We have winter storm watches and winter weather advisories in South Dakota. So that includes Pierre, South Dakota. But what we're going to have here is a lot of wind with this low pressure system, severe weather to the south. I wouldn't be surprised to see tornado watches issued later on today for tonight into Oklahoma. And look, those strong winds extend all the way down into eastern and southern Texas. This is a red flag warning down towards the Rio Grande Valley and even over towards Louisiana. Look at this, Mardi Gras going on. And they are certainly going to take it on the chin with rain, thunderstorms, and strong winds during Mardi Gras. And so here we have high wind warning. It's called an NPW, non-precipitation warning. High wind warning already in effect. So here's what's going to happen. With that low pressure system that's going to be coming up through Oklahoma and Kansas, it is drawing up a lot of strong wind from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's going to be coming up this way. And not only is it going to be strong winds because of that, it's going to bring a lot of moisture. So we're going to see the dew points raise pretty rapidly. And that's the part of the formula, part of the recipe for severe weather to develop. But these are going to be strong winds coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, and we're going to be watching those. That's why there's a wind advisory and wind warning here. It's going to be coming right off the Gulf and increasing those winds. Look at all this tan area here. You see this tan area? This is all the way from Missouri and Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, over to Mississippi and Alabama. And this is all wind related. High wind related. So as this front makes its way across the U.S., and I'll show you this on the model data as well, because I was looking at the dew points, the 2-meter dew points, which is a sign of what kind of moisture we have coming our way. Watch this. This is the dew points. It's very dry, low dew points now in the east. That's why we have wildfires burning, and we have those high wind advisories, those red flag warnings, advisories for fires that could form. It's all because it's very dry here. So this isn't necessarily cold air. This is showing you moisture, what the dew point is in the atmosphere. But watch this as we go on into the day tomorrow. This is Tuesday night. Look at this difference. This is strong winds coming off of the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, you can just see it in the wind field. Here comes those strong winds right up this way. And the strong winds are coming right up to the south, from the south, even over Florida. Dew points are going to be getting higher. So these dew points mean that we have more moisture in the atmosphere. And when we have a cold front coming through that squeezes that moisture out, there's vertical lift, the air shoots up, thunderstorms form, and they could be severe at times. So as we advance this one more area here, look at that. The dew points really start to drop, but this is the line of severe thunderstorms that could be coming through during the day on Wednesday, early Wednesday. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then this continues on to the east. And here's the period of time. Here's the period of time where we could see severe weather in the mid-Atlantic. This is Northern Virginia. You can see a little bit of Maryland is right up here. But these strong southerly winds coming right up into the Washington, D.C. area and into Maryland, these winds are bringing moisture with it. And with the added wind direction change from a cold front coming through, we have wind shear. And when you change the direction of the winds at different altitudes, you get rotation. That's where we might see, it's possible we could see some isolated tornadoes in the mid-Atlantic and in eastern Virginia and North Carolina as well. Again, pay attention to the National Weather Service forecast office there when we're getting into the nighttime hours as this cold front really gets closer. So back to GeoCollaborate. I'm going to turn off the watches, warnings, and advisories. By the way, look for anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of snow, maybe even more in the UP of Michigan here when this storm passes by. Yes, the lake effect machine is still alive and well. So I'm going to turn that off, and I want to turn on the Winter Storm Severity Index. Okay, this is the WSSI from the National Weather Service. This is from the Weather Prediction Center in College Park, Maryland. They put this product together multiple times per day, showing where there are going to be impacts to critical infrastructure, mainly transportation here, because of winter weather. And look at this. This is a combination of blizzards, so high winds, minimal visibility, and snow accumulation, along with those very strong gusty winds. So this is where the biggest impact is going to be. The foothills of Colorado, on into Nebraska, western Kansas, even parts of northern New Mexico here. We could see impacts from snow and lowered visibility, icy roads. Then it continues on across into Iowa, into southern Minnesota, where we'll have strong winds and heavy snow in some bands as this low pressure system moves right up through Wisconsin, more like the southeastern part of Wisconsin. So you'll be on the cold air side of this storm. And notice there's not much in the way of winter weather impacts here on the East Coast. This is showing up here in Western Maryland and West Virginia and even down towards Asheville, where they'll be recovering from the remnants of Hurricane Helene for many months to come. Some still exposed will need to be taking cover because of strong winds, cold temperatures, and some snow falling as this cold front passes. So that's we're talking about after Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. So this is the Winter Storm Severity Index. Well, that's it for this update. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Again, this is for the All Hazards Consortium, Sensitive Information Sharing Environment. Thanks for joining me today. If you get a chance, I had the opportunity to be interviewed by Andrew Levin. He has a podcast called Speak Up for the Blue. You can look for that, Google that, and it'll come up. It's on all sorts of platforms. We had a good discussion about the cuts at the National Weather Service and NOAA, what that could mean. And I was really appreciative for him to invite me on his podcast. So check it out. Thanks so much. And we'll see you later with another update, most likely tomorrow afternoon as this severe weather threatens the Southeast U.S. And please watch out for yourself and also watch out for your neighbors. In these severe weather evenings, it's really important to show them that you're there and you care. Have a good evening.